The Big 12 was hosed by the College Football Playoff Committee. Not shocking, but what are we doing here? This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. Congratulations. Arizona State is in the College Football Playoff. They will receive a bye as well. But here's what I don't understand. Why does the path of the 4 seed look so much tougher than the path of the 5 seed? Why is Boise State a 3 seed when Arizona State will sit at the 4? But I have some solace to give you. If you hit subscribe, I had to keep my job. First reaction to this: stop. Whatever you're going to do in the next 5, 6, 7 years against teams in the non-conference who are Power 4, stop. Oh, you're cool home and home with Maryland? Cancel it. Shoot, we got a home and home with Auburn. Cancel it. Oh, we have a home and home with SMU. It's over. Play Wofford. Play Mercer. Play William and Mary, but they left Mary at home. Do not. No, that's it. Strength of schedule doesn't matter. If it mattered, Boise State, whose best win was a loss to Oregon, would not be where they are. Arizona State should be the 3 seed here because strength of schedule has to be taken into account more so. Do I think that SMU should be left out for Alabama? No. Does Alabama have a better strength of schedule? Yes. But Bama has also lost to 6-6 Vanderbilt and 6-6 Oklahoma. I get SMU being in over that. In this scenario for Arizona State and Boise State, with Arizona State a win off of where Boise State is, and a Boise State team that's barely beating San Jose State or Nevada or Oregon State, why on earth? So listen to Boise State. Their path right now is to play the winner of Penn State and SMU. Guess what? That's in the Fiesta Bowl, too. If we're the 3 seed, if Arizona State's the 3 seed, we get Fiesta Bowl. Home field against SMU or Penn State. I am not that scared of SMU or Penn State. Why? Rhett Lashley and company. What's their big win? What are their big games? Penn State. When has James Franklin ever won a big game? Boise State, I'm not scared of. And I'll tell you why I'm not very scared of Texas either, coming up in a second. But this format, here's what I've learned. That BYU win against SMU. I would love to see who's better between BYU and SMU. I wish there was a way to determine that. Oh, shoot. There was. And we won. The Big 12 won. But the rhetoric is, yeah, that was in the first couple of weeks of the season. So now we're sitting at this part of the season. So what you're telling me, in essence, what the committee kind of just said, these games that are played in the first month, your cool non-conference home and home, they don't matter whatsoever. All they care about is that number of wins next to your name. For better or worse, all you have to do is win the games in front of the teams in front of you and make your path as easy as possible. You want an example of that? Can I give you an example of that? Boise State, the Broncos. They didn't play a Power 4 schedule. They played a schedule that was strength of schedule like 86 in the country. That is pitiful. But they're the number 3 team in the country going into the playoff. Why? Because that's the way this entire bracket is set up. It is stupid. Might I remind you, arguably the father of the 12-team playoff, former Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby. Bob, good to see you. Thanks a lot for this monstrosity. Arizona State now has to suffer for the good of Boise State. I understand that I'm opening this with, I feel like there's some spite to this. I'm very excited Arizona State got a bye. Clemson getting a bye would have been absurdity. They're the number 16 team in the country. Arizona State's number 12, according to the committee. Alabama's 11. Why is Alabama ahead of Arizona State? I don't know, but Bama's not in. And in this funky, weird way that we're doing this, Arizona State still gets the bye. And they get Texas. While they could be in Boise State's seat and get the winner of SMU and Penn State, or heck, I would rather be for Arizona State. I would almost rather be where Penn State is at 6. I'd rather be 6 than 4. Play SMU and then play Boise State, and then go to the college football playoff semifinal against Georgia, Indiana, or Notre Dame, very likely Georgia. Here's the good news of the way the bracket shakes out. We avoid Georgia. Okay. We avoid. I think avoiding Notre Dame even could be fun. We don't avoid Texas. We don't avoid Clemson. We get the winner of that one, and I'm just, buddy, this is the same Texas team that won one Big 12 championship in 14 years. I watched them against Baylor 2 years ago. Struggle to get a point on the board. Like Steve Sarkisian's running plays with inside of 5 seconds to go just to put the first touchdown up for Texas. I've watched them get steamrolled in the Big 12 for years. And now they walk into the SEC, and guess who Texas' best win is against? Nobody. Their best win is their losses. That's not good. Oh, well, Texas would blow the doors off of Arizona State. Yeah, I bet Texas would blow the doors off of Vanderbilt, too. And Arkansas, no? And those games were neck and neck. Airtight. And you're telling me that they got a big leg up over Arizona State? I bet Clemson would beat the absolute mess out of Pitt, who is far worse than Arizona State. I bet Clemson absolutely would do that. No. I don't hate this second round matchup, first round for us, the quarterfinal matchup for Arizona State, because these two teams just weren't scary every week. Arizona State, the last 5-6 weeks, has been the scariest team arguably in the country, beating up to the conference championship game. It was the one conference championship game where you thought, dang, this is lopsided. Arizona State pummeled a very good, very even quality Iowa State team. They're playing better football than Texas. They're playing better football than Clemson. What's the difference in Arizona State and Texas? Texas just lost a game. Clemson lost one 2 weeks ago. Arizona State hasn't felt loss since early October. That's going to go a long way. And with Cam Scatterboot at running back, the way that Sam Levitt has played, the skill position guys that stepped up, even to Guillory, who's now been inserted in the fold. I believe under Kenny Dillingham, who was the OC at Oregon that Arizona State will play when they win the quarterfinal, I believe under Dillingham, they've got a fighter's chance to beat anybody, especially these teams that can't seem to beat the brakes off of Vanderbilt. They can't seem to beat the brakes off of Arkansas or Pitt. Then that semifinal matchup against Oregon, I love it. Oh, dude, I love it. It's not Georgia. I wouldn't want to play Georgia. It's not Alabama. I still wouldn't want to play Alabama. It's Oregon or Ohio State or Tennessee. The same Tennessee team that lost to Arkansas. The same Ohio State team that lost to Michigan. And an Oregon team, their 8-point lackluster, terrible defensive performance win against Penn State that I'm just not that afraid of, because guess what? Kenny Dillingham was just there. If anybody knows Oregon, it's Dillingham. And I don't watch their games the same way I watch a Georgia, whose quarterback sucks, by the way. Is anybody in college football that dominant this year? I think the answer is no. Even Oregon, I think the answer is no. I am not afraid of what Oregon... I've seen Dylan Gabriel get eaten up, spit back out. 28-year-old Dylan Gabriel in Big 12 games. He's a Big 12 quarterback. And I don't see Oregon being able to completely stop Cam Scatterboot. I don't see Texas, who's got a good run defense, being able to do it either. Then let Sam Levitt take the top off, because the kid can. I want the 3. The 3 is an easier path, but it's the give and the take. As the 3 seed, very confident Arizona. I want the 6. I want to play Boise State in the quarterfinals. And then go to the semifinal and play Georgia, and you go, oh, shoot, this one's going to be tough. I really don't mind Texas. For an Arizona State fan who's like, well, it was fun. Texas is good. They're probably going to beat us. Dog, I've watched that team for 15 years. You're okay. You're really okay. They had one good year in the Big 12, and it just so happened to be the recency bias the year they left. And then this year, they played nobody. Their best win is a loss. Oh, or 8-4 Texas A&M. Because we know Texas A&M's a perennial powerhouse. They never underachieve. I do want the 3, but I guess if we really start thinking about this, the 3, there's Georgia. So let's be where we are. I'm fine with this. This is good. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm excited for the rest of this week to give you further coverage. Next 2 weeks to talk about that. Well, shoot. We don't get a darn Big 12 game for 22 days. New Year's Eve. Might have to go to that Peach Bowl, Atlanta. God, I would have loved the Fiesta Bowl. But here we are. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is the number one place to bet on everything, anything and everything. FanDuel.com. I go to FanDuel.com right now and I bet $5 on the NFL. And you know what FanDuel says? Thanks for doing that. If your bet hits, we'll give you $150 in bonus bets. So right now, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is giving you everything you need to place bets on the NFL all in one place. Get a hunch in the middle of a game. Check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, so much more on the same page where you place your bets. FanDuel.com to join today. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That is FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. It's FanDuel, and do it today.